Hey everybody, it's Kari Green with Kari Green Real Estate, and I'm super excited to be bringing another roundtable here so that we can get information out to the consumers. There's been a lot of changes in the real estate industry and how we're going to be doing things, and it's all about making sure that our consumers have the tools that they need to be able to be successful. So in Kitsap County, I am your go-to, and if you're interested in purchasing or selling anytime in the next 10 years, the journey starts long before you open the first door. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. Hey everybody, it's Kari Green with Kari Green Real Estate, and I'm really excited to be bringing Sandi.green here with us today to the round table. She is with Churchill Mortgage, and she's got some really exciting news that she's going to be bringing and sharing with us. So just fun fact, our last names are the same, but we are not related. But we stumbled upon each other as we were both trying to take care of a really great buyer, and we were able to get them in. I mean, they went on the market 1st of November and they were into their home before Christmas. And it was just a really beautiful experience. And I've gotten to know her a little bit. And so make sure that you like and subscribe, keep in the know. And as I always say, the journey starts long before you open the first door. So let's take a little bit and chat a little bit about what's going on. Sandi, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been in the real estate industry for 37 and a half years.
Nice.
I started my career as a real estate agent, and I did that for 11 years. That was in a very different time where technology wasn't in play. We didn't even have the internet at that point.
Right.
And I knew for me, as I was walking through the journey with buyers, that my next transition was going to be the financial aspect of things. It was really critical to me that people were making incredible decisions with not only the largest asset of their life, but now they have the largest liability of their life. And so moving into the lending scene was really where my heart was.
Nice. Very cool. Well, you do not look old enough to be anywhere for 37 and a half years.
Well, thank you.
So you were telling me a little bit about the $10,000 seller guarantee.
Right.
So what is that in a nutshell?
So simply put, we're putting our money where our mouth is. For all of our clients who have been pre-underwritten and fully approved, we're offering the $10,000 guarantee to the seller, which is essentially guaranteeing our work, right? So in the unlikely event that the financing fails for the seller's trouble, they get $10,000. Now, keep in mind, this isn't if a seller backs out or if a buyer backs out. This is associated with whether or not we did our job correctly. And it's designed to build trust with a seller and the agent.
Perfect. So if I was to write up an offer for a buyer, would there be a flyer or something that I could send with that offer to tell them about this guarantee?
Absolutely. So the seller guarantee is offered to all of our certified home buyers. And what I mean by certified home buyer is that they've gone through the process where they've supplied us with all of the documentation, not just a portion of the documentation. So our underwriter can take out their golden pen and say, yes, they're approved. So once they're approved, we generate a pre-approval letter with the certified home buyer certificate, along with the $10,000 seller guarantee certificate and an explanation of what that is.
Awesome. So that would be on top of any earnest money that came in as well, yeah?
Yes.
Awesome. So are all sellers available for this?
Yes. Sometimes sellers just have to understand it more. Right. So we provide them with that guarantee. We put their name on the $10,000 seller guarantee document so they know it's specifically designed for them and their property.
Well, and that really puts the money into the buyer's court, right? So I think the most difficult thing is when we have a buyer, right? And we need this documentation and it feels like you should be able to go to the store and buy a soda, give the money and walk away. But the reality is you're asking for someone to loan you money. which means you need to have your W-2s and your taxes and your bank statements available. And sometimes getting to that, we want a fast pre-approval. We want to be able to make, that trigger happen. But in order to make that happen, it really puts it back in that buyer to get certified, to get started early, and to do what needs to be done for this to be available.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Let's face it, buying the home is the fun part, right?
Right.
But we've got to slow people down to certify them, not just from the financial aspect, but really help them understand the need to know what's going on in the market, what national economy versus their own personal economy.
Right.
What can they do is no longer what we're providing. We're showing people what they should do. And they need to know without hesitation that they can be confident, bulletproof buyers, especially in a market like we're in today, right?
Absolutely.
The whole goal is to make them bulletproof financially and mentally.
Yeah. And not create more stress.
Right.
And one of the things that I've been really trying to work towards correcting is that when you're a first-time home buyer and you're talking about interest rates, absolutely, it can be scary. But as interest rates go up, prices go down. And when you look at really what the percentages are based on the prices coming down, the payments per month are not really that much. And once you're in a home as a buyer in this market, you choose to refinance when the rates are good for you, as opposed to competing with investors and being outbid by 50 grand. So if you're a budget buyer, now is the time to get these kinds of resources together so that we can make this successful for you.
That's exactly right. The whole goal of taking people through this process is to ensure that they're successful homeowners, not just homeowners, right?
Right.
So how can we live in their life and continue to help them make tremendous financial decisions as their lives evolve? So this process, it's just the first phase. After they close on their loan, we have a perfect mortgage process. Like, we're always going to proactively work with people from today until death do us part, to make sure at all times, as their family and their lives evolve, they're in the right mortgage.
Right.
And in order to do that, you have to take them through a process where you understand what their goals are and dreams, and what do they want to accomplish? Do they want generational wealth? What do they want? And we build it upon their life rather than squeezing a loan around their life.
Right. And that's the whole thing too, right? I have friends who are never going to have kids. They've gotten married. They decided they don't want to have kids. Those goals and dreams and moving forward in their lives look very different than like my son, who recently moved to Alabama and has decided that he and his new wife want to have a couple of kids. So this all starts before we ever open the new door. And when we open that first door, what's going to be the right thing to get you where you need to go, right? The risks are different. The income level and what you want to pay for housing is different, because if you're raising kids as opposed to not raising kids, do you want to be able to go out to high end? What are your goals? Like, if you're not going to have kids, usually somebody has something else. Right. So, I think that that's a great thing that you're talking about, and just being integrity from the beginning and building a plan around someone's life and understanding really more than the kind of house that they want, who they are and where their goals are going to take them, because their home can make or break that future. So I'm really excited for that. And then you were telling me a little bit about the Home Buyer's Edge program.
Yes. So the Home Buyer's Edge, Churchill's Certified Home Buyer's Edge program, is really designed to make our buyers bulletproof, right? Okay. So not only is their loan fully underwritten and fully approved with only property conditions remaining, we are able to offer the $10,000 seller guarantee, and we're also able to do something called rate secure. And as you know, rates follow properties, they don't follow people. Right. However, we put a cap on their rate while they're shopping. Okay. And that cap is good for 90 days. So as long as they're in escrow within 90 days, if the rates were to go higher, they're guaranteed of that cap rate. And that's really important, because what if rates shift and they no longer qualify for the homes that you've been showing them, right? Next, if rates go down, they automatically get that lower rate.
Okay, so they're not locked in
No,
on the lower side.
they automatically get that lower rate, and it gives them confidence going into it, and you confidence knowing that we'll be able to put somebody into a home and the market fluctuations didn't prevent them from doing it.
Right. And so I feel like with the the certificate and the seller's guarantee, that could be the difference between, especially in that budget buyer realm, FHA, down payment assistance arena, being able to have you guys come in, it's going to give somebody the edge to be able to say, you know what, all things being equal, there's the earnest money and there's $10,000 sitting over here that says we're ready and willing and able to move forward.
That's exactly right. Now, this rate secured, just to clarify, doesn't cover down payment assistance loans. And the reason why it doesn't is because they're their own entity. They're lending their own money, right?
Right.
And they control the rates and fees. The Housing Finance Commission does. So
Gotcha. And that makes sense. So the down payment assistance is kind of its own program.
It's its own program.
Yeah.
And pretty much in a nutshell, Kari, the truth of the matter is that our greatest challenge isn't interest rates right now.
No.
As long as people's personal economy can support their cash to close, their payment, right? All of those things, our greatest challenge is inventory. And a lot of people are concerned about interest rate and maybe don't want to move forward now because they're afraid of overpaying when it comes to an interest rate. But the truth is that if interest rates were to drop by 1%, 5 million more households are available, right, out there in the marketplace. Right now, we have 130 million people who have the ability to buy, and 900,000 homes on the market nationwide, right?
Right. The other side of that is even dropping by 1%, we're going to be back in a bidding war with investors.
And what happens? What happens then? Now we know that Wall Street is gobbling up properties across the country. They're going to be competing when that money is more affordable with these institutional investors, not their neighbors. And so we like to show people that that really and truly the greatest way to ensure that you'll overpay is to wait too long.
Well, and if you're a renter, you've already waited too long, right? So if you are a renter, your interest rate is 100%. 100% of everything that you have goes into someone else's pocket. Even, let's say, rates blow up to 10% like they were in the 80s. You are putting 90% approximately, because not all of the loan principal, because the payment adds on your taxes and your insurance and all that. But when you're talking interest rates, you've gone from 0% in your pocket to 90% into your future. And at the end of the day, you don't ever have to walk away again. You don't have to walk away empty-handed ever again, provided you partner with the right people.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
What I'm trying to help people understand is that if you're spending, $2,800 on rental every month, or $2,800 on a high mortgage interest rate for 2 years before you refi, you still are putting 90% back in your pocket.
Yes.
And so there's that click that people just are not understanding. I gotta wait till the interest rates go down, and I'm gonna wait till they go back down to 3s and 4s. Well, we don't want another global economy shutdown. That's what created that. It's never going to happen again, Lord willing. That was a space to keep people safe. Now we're back, and we're close to where we were pre-pandemic, and you're still saying you want to wait and paying 100% to somebody else. Like, come on now. But I think it's just a matter of understanding, and that's why we're doing these videos, to help everybody.
That's exactly. Yeah. And
you don't know what you don't know. That's why we get to do this.
And that is why it's really important that we educate people, because the truth in the matter is we are not in a housing crisis. We are in an information crisis where headlines don't support what's really going on in the world.
Well, because, if everybody's okay and safe and understand what's going on, then they're going to make better decisions, right?
Yeah.
So headlines are not necessarily for making better decisions. They're for getting ratings. So
Exactly
and it's the same
right.
way with Credit Karma, right? Credit Karma is a great tool. It's a great app. You can pop it open. But at the end of the day, it's a marketing tool to get you to invest in their products, their credit cards,
Right.
their kickbacks, right? So when we go, and oh my gosh, they ran my credit for this mortgage, and Credit Karma says I dropped 150 points. That's their algorithm, but is their algorithm really out for your best interest, or are they out to market to you? And so that's where we need this face-to-face interaction with mortgage lenders, because I don't know, I don't have access to any of anybody's personal information, but I can get you involved with people who are out for your best interest, not just to pad their pockets. Because at the end of the day, I feel the same way. Homes are going to buy, homes are going to sell. That's never going to stop. If I go and I decide to do something different, that's still going to happen in this world. But there's only a handful of really, really integritous agents out there. And elevating that information is going to help people to choose integrity and know what to ask for their mortgage lenders, their real estate agents, to get quality so that less people fail.
I think that's exactly right. And, with the value that you offer people before, during, and after, and the value that we offer people before, during, and after, the truth is we're not going to be the cheapest.
And that's the truth,
right?
too. Yeah.
We are going to be the most valuable people in their lives to help them build wealth and prosperity and own a home that they can raise their kids in if they choose to do that, make memories in, all of those things that are important from the emotional standpoint. But then we're going to help them with the financial standpoint as well, because it is an investment.
It is. And it's the biggest investment you're ever going to make. And if you do it right, then you can build from a solid foundation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Miss Sandy, can you give me a couple of parting comments before we exit the building here?
I absolutely would love to. So, one of the questions I think that should be asked most frequently is, what is the best advice that I can give a buyer to be successful in this market?
Okay.
And the truth is the buyers aren't asking the right questions, Kari. They're diverting to one question only. And that question is, what is your rate? Because that's what they're trained to do.
Yep.
When the truth in the matter is they need to be asking significantly different questions of lenders that they interview. Most lenders are going to tell you what you can do. They need someone who is going to tell them what they should do, right?
Yep.
And they need to ask questions like, what data and facts can you share with me so that I have a deep understanding of what's going on in the housing market, so I can be assured that I'm making the right decision for my personal economy?
Right.
How can you help me gain a competitive advantage when I'm in the process of making an offer, so that I save money and the loan that we've structured for me is helping me meet my long and my short-term goals?
Yep.
What analytical tools do you have in place in which you can show me the cost of the decision that I'm making? And what are you going to do for me? And what practices do you have to proactively remain in touch with me before, during, and after? Do you have a perfect mortgage promise? What does it look like for you when it comes to updating me as I move through this biggest decision of my life?
Yep.
And if you can't get solid answers to that, and if a loan officer, I'm a home loan specialist, I'm a mortgage advisor, if they can't tell you exactly or show you what is going on in the market and why you must buy now, if you're capable of it, it doesn't matter what the rate is, right?
Right. It's the same way with real estate agents, right? Everybody reverts to, I want 3-bedroom, 2-bath, big yard, whatever. When what you should be asking is, what can I afford inside of my budget? Which I always start with the lender, get me a pre-approval letter, give me a number. And then we can talk about what it is that you can afford, what is looking like on that market, and then how we're going to build if this isn't your dream home, how we're going to build through.
Right.
Sellers,
the transitional plan.
Right. And for sellers, the question isn't what can I get for my home? The question is, what is your reach? What is your marketing plan? What is it going to cost me? How does this work that you are a leg above other people? And one of my biggest assets is that I'm part of a global brand. So millionaires don't live in the same area. They live all over the world. And so at the right price point, we're able to market across the globe for all of the millionaires out there. But I'm also a member of multiple local MLSs because over here, we're a military town. We may not be just marketing to here. We're marketing to people who may be coming here with a boat or, however that works. And so understanding what the reach is, understanding how your mortgage officer is going to help you, and really gaining an understanding as opposed to being spoon-fed information and just agreeing. Find someone who's going to dig in with you and give you as much or as little information as you want, right? Not everybody needs the nuts and bolts. They just want to know, like, here it is. But if you do come across something, can they answer the question? And I think that's probably my biggest parting comment is make sure that you understand that you need to be the focus of this transaction. There are processes and programs in place for both the loan officers and, real estate agents, because we have, you're our favorite, but not necessarily our only. And so those programs and processes are put in place so that nobody falls through the cracks. So make sure that you understand that you got to bring everything that you have to the table when you're asked for documents and all of those things. But this transaction is about you and your dreams.
That's exactly
the home
right.
is a manifestation of your goals and your dreams. So make sure that it's about you. So
that's exactly right.
Absolutely. Well, Miss Sandy, I'm so thankful that you came and hung out with me today. It was really, really nice to see your beautiful face.
You as well. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I am going to let you get back to your day. I appreciate all the information. Keep sending me programs that come up as they come across your desk, and we will be in touch in the future.
Wonderful. Have a great day.
You too.